Hi everyone, welcome to the Mind, Brain and Behaviour 1 vlog series for 2019. If you don't know me by now, I'll introduce myself here. My name is Dr. Christopher Groot, but you can just call me Chris, and I am your coordinator for Mind, Brain and Behaviour 1. One of the things that I am going to do for you in Mind, Brain and Behaviour 1 is to produce this vlog series. Intermittently throughout the semester, I will publish these videos where I speak to people that maybe work in the field that is related to the content that you're learning about. We'll learn about all the interesting happenings at the school that are attached to Mind, Brain and Behaviour 1, and hopefully help connect you not only with myself but the other staff and students in the school and with each other. The whole idea here is to create a sense of community, I suppose, and to contextualize what you are learning in the course on a day-to-day basis in lectures and practical classes. It's the start of semester and there's lots happening, and I will be telling you about quite a few things that are going on. This week, well actually last week, I popped over to an art gallery that's on campus called the Dax Gallery. The Dax Gallery is housed within the Dax Centre. It's on campus, as I said, on the other side of campus actually, in the Melbourne Brain Centre. And it houses a collection of work that's been produced by people who have a lived experience of mental illness and mental health issues and recovery. And the works have been collected over a very long time. Right now there's an exhibition there. It's a fantastic exhibition on the topic of mental illness stigma. So I went to the Dax Centre last week and I spoke with Charmaine, the director of the Dax Centre, and I also spoke with an artist in residence there who is making works in collaboration with visitors to the centre, again around this theme of stigma about mental illness. So this is something that you can go and see. It's something you can go and participate in and experience. A really interesting thing to kick off your extracurricular activities at the university with. So without any further ado, let's jump in and have a look at the Dax Centre. Okay everyone, so we have been joined by Charmaine Smith, who is the director of the Dax Centre here at Melbourne University. So Charmaine, can you tell us a little bit about the Dax Centre?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the Dax Centre we understand mental illness through art. So we use art as a medium and the artist's lived experience and their personal story as a way to really understand what the experience of mental illness is like for somebody. We are also part of the SANE Australia group as well. We merged with SANE last year, so many of you may have heard of SANE. And at the Dax Centre, the way that we work with the community is we work with the community at large. We also have education programs that are tailored for secondary school, primary school and tertiary students, which run throughout the year.
Fantastic. And so you've got those structured educational programs, but students at the university can come and visit as well anytime, can't they?
Absolutely, yes. So we love that. So we are open Wednesday to Friday, 12 to 5 p.m. and in March we'll be open for 2 Sundays. So if you live nearby, or maybe you don't live nearby but you'd like to come, we will have 2 community Sundays, one on the 17th of March and one on the 24th, and we'll be open from 11 to 4 on those days. But every other week, Wednesday to Friday, 12 to 5 p.m, you can pop in between classes, come in for some quiet time. It's a beautiful space, and you're always welcome to pop by and say hi.
It is a really lovely space, the gallery here at the DAC Centre, and there's a lot happening in the space right now, isn't there? There's a new exhibition on the theme of stigma about mental illness.
That's right. So just on Friday night, we opened the new exhibition, Stigma Dismantled Revealed, which features 7 contemporary artists, and they're exploring, each in their own way, what stigma has meant to them and how it has impacted their lives. So behind me we have the work of Joanne, who has done some beautiful work making these amazing cages which speak to her experiences and her journey with mental illness. I would really encourage everyone to come by and have a look, because I don't think you're going to get the justice or see the detail of these cages unless you can come by in person and spend some time with them. Super beautiful.
It's so true. You really need to get up close and spend some time and think about the pieces. They're all very provocative, and in fact that's one of the reasons why I'm such a supporter of the DAX Gallery. I think it really puts you in a position where you need to try and consider, or you want to try and consider, what's been going on for the artist in terms of their experience of the world themselves and their mental health issues. And I think you can get a really interesting insight into lived experience that way.
That I agree. Couldn't agree more, Chris. And I think that's the feedback that we constantly get from people, is that there's something about the art that tells a story in a way that maybe no other medium can. It conveys the lived experience and allows for that connection between the artist and the viewer to really open up. And I think once that connection opens up, once somebody understands someone's journey, understands the impact that stigma can have on them, the reasons behind that stigma just kind of start to fall away, because as we connect with people, empathy builds, understanding builds, and then sort of those social norms that allowed the stigma to exist in the first place don't have the same power that they used to have, and they just fall away, and the stigma is dismantled.
Fantastic.
So with me today in the DAX Centre Gallery is our artist in residence, and this is the first time we've had an artist working in our gallery space, and Jessie Brooks-Dowsett is with us for 5 weeks. So Jessie, welcome. I think this is week 1 of the residency.
Week 1, day 1.
Yeah, awesome. We are so pleased to have you here.
Oh, thanks, Shirley.
It's wonderful to come down the stairs and come into this space and see that the work is just being created here in our gallery. So perhaps you might want to tell us a little bit about your involvement with the exhibition and what you're hoping to achieve over the 5-week term.
Yeah, sure, no worries. So my involvement in my residency will come in 2 parts. There'll be a reflective part, which will involve gestural abstract painting. So that's more about my own reflections, about how I'm processing things, how I feel in the space, or whatever's kind of ruminating. So that starts with a mindfulness practice, moves into painting, and then I wrap it up with just some free writing, and then I'll use those words to title the works. And the second part probably addresses the theme of stigma for me a little bit more. It's a collaborative piece with the community. So it's all about connecting with others, sitting down, weaving works, so working with wire and different found objects to build an installation piece for the space.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I had someone in this morning, and they're building, they can be small little pieces. They've actually started building and they've taken the wire home with them to build up a bit more. But then my aim is to bring all of these pieces together and find ways that they can connect. So in the same way that I feel stigma can be reduced through connecting with others and having these kind of conversations, I feel that the art illustrates the same thing, so not only in the making of it with other people but also in the constructing of it, and then I have to find a way to connect it all together as well. So it kind of hits a few of those markers.
I think that's wonderful, and you're absolutely right. All the research literature speaks to a range of things being effective to reduce stigma, like education, for example, about the experience of mental health issues. But the thing that really stands out is spending time with people who have lived experience and learning that there is no difference. There's no categorical difference between somebody who does and doesn't. We all do to more or less a degree, right? Last year we had a group of first-year students come to visit the Dax Gallery, and we were involved with that, Charmaine, and they just got so much out of just being able to have a guided tour and learn about the experience of mental health issues and mental illness from the pieces, and hearing from an ambassador with lived experience, but actually being able to intersect with that via art is a really interesting idea. So potentially if students are interested in mental health and in stigma, they could come along and maybe participate, join in on the work.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love to have more dialogue around that, because I think you made a really good point about mental health and how we are viewing things, and I think that I have a view of mental health as that it's something that we sort of sits on this sort of continuum, and everybody exists on that continuum, and I think the more we talk about mental health, the more we will recognise that that's the case, and then that flow and effect will just create more and more conversation. And I think that's kind of where the crux of all of this sort of comes in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Fantastic. Okay, Jessie, and Charmaine, thank you very much for your time today, and hopefully everybody can come along and see the wonderful work you're doing here at the Dax Gallery.
Great. We'd love to have you down.
So there you have it. There is our first vlog episode for 2019. I'll be putting these out quite regularly. If you've got any questions or any comments, any suggestions for what you'd like to see, then please let me know via the discussion board or via the comments section below. Looking forward to seeing you all throughout the semester with these vlogs and live streams and so forth. Until I see you next time, take care, and I'll see you soon.